I first met Mark in Tampa. He was a financial advisor. We got married October 19th of 2002. I found out about 4 months afterwards that I was pregnant. He was absolutely thrilled.
I've known him since we were freshmen in high school. Played football with him, grew up together, and I've just never heard a bad word said about Mark. He was just a great guy.
October 24th, I had called my husband in the morning, and my brother was living with us at the time. I said, hey, let's all go out to dinner tonight. I was 9 months pregnant that day. So I got home, and my ankles were so swollen up, and I just decided, I'm like, you know what? I said, I don't think I can do this. And he's like, you're not going out? I said, no, why don't you and Phil go out to dinner, then come back and we'll spend some time together. And he said, but I love you and I'll miss you. And he walked out the door and he gave me a kiss goodbye, and that was the last time I ever saw him. I got a phone call at about 9 o'clock at night, and it was my brother. And he said, there's been a horrible accident and you need to get here now because it's not good. And he's like, and I don't know how long Mark has. And I just remember being 9 months pregnant and just running, running. And I just saw lights and sirens and just the world stopped. My brother was stopped at a red light. The left arrow turned green for him to go, and he went. And that's when somebody decided to run the light at 50 miles an hour, and my husband took the brunt of it. He actually lost his life right there at impact.
They just had their 1-year anniversary on the preceding Sunday night. This happened on a Friday night. 2.5 weeks later, Madison Grace Wandel was born into this world.
So I had this little girl on November 13th, actually, 2003. And it was also the hardest thing I've ever done, knowing that I was bringing this child home without my husband.
This is a very unique situation that he was the writing agent, Mark being in the business for 6 years, 7 years at the time, planned accordingly. He had 2 types of insurance. He had term life insurance, and he also had some permanent protection in the form of variable life insurance.
Joe hasn't left our side since. He and Mark were such great friends.
The best thing that's come out of this has been the good works that Melissa has been able to do.
Melissa hasn't just sat back and lived off life insurance money and gone on with her life. She is trying to make a difference in this world.
Melissa had the luxury now with the life insurance of being able to stay at home and not have to go back to work. So she formed the Mark Wandel Foundation, which raises money for children's charities. It donates money for scholarships at the high school where Mark went to.
Madison can grow up knowing her father through this foundation.
She has started a coalition to stop red light running, and I believe it's getting the attention of multiple officials throughout the state of Florida.
She goes out and speaks to community groups. She goes to schools and tells them. She's reliving the worst day of her life every time she does that.
I mean, you look at this story, and from the outside, it just seems like tragedy, but it's more than that. It's what Melissa has been able to do since that time frame, and the role that life insurance plays in that is unbelievable.
His legacy to me is Madison. From the first moment that Madison was born, I talked to her about her dad, and when she was first born and I held her in my arms, I let her know that her dad's physically not with us, but spiritually, that he is. And I think that we owe him the ability to see that we can go on with his help and that we're going to make it.